Hi again, it's Beverly Cole, and I'm here today to share some more how-tos when it comes to making digital cards. Today we're going to use some of my newest stamp sets, and I'm going to show you how to use a special stamp that I have included in my newest sets, and I hope that you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, please comment. Let me know what you think, if there's anything that you're interested in seeing. I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so that you don't miss any videos that I put out, and you won't miss any of the interesting facts that I have to share with you. Okay, so we're going to start right now, and I'm going to start with a background. We're going to do 2 cards. Now, I'll tell you when we get to the stamp that is the new part of my sets. I'm so excited to share this with you. I think it's going to make your cards very interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up here to insert picture from file. And if you haven't done this with me before, you may want to go ahead and look back a couple of videos to my video on how to, Digital 101, how to work with digital images. I think I call it Digital Stamping 101. I'll put the link below. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of my jelly plate prints, which will soon be a new set in themselves. I'm going to choose this one up here, and it's going to appear here. I have a grid in place to help with lining up some of the images. Now this is the regular size that you will get when you when it is made into a set. It's 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to shrink it. So I'm going to hold down my Shift key, and I'm just going to hold down my mouse button, and I'm just going to shrink it down and click off of it, and I can click on it and move it around. I'm going to move it right up to the corner. Okay, and then I'm going to add a digital from one of my brand new sets, and that one is My Magnolia, it's called. And I'm going to use the color image. Oh, and I want to change the background. I'm going to go up here to modify, up here, and I'm going to rotate. So these little red dots appear, and I'm just going to grab one of the corners and I'm going to rotate it. And those lines in the grid really help with that. Okay, so click off of that, and I'm going to move my Magnolia up, hold down my Shift key, and that helps my stamp to stay in the same shape. Remember, if I don't hold down the Shift key, it changes the shape. So you want to make sure, let me go back here. Make sure that you hold down your Shift key if you're using OpenOffice, and this is OpenOffice, and it's a free download. So I'm going to move my Magnolia right there, and I'm not going to crop it yet because I might want to move it again, and that would just be a waste of time. Now, here comes the fun part. Here comes the new part of my stamp sets. Insert picture. We're going to go right to the same stamp set, but here you'll see that I have something called a skeleton. I'm going to use the skeleton of the Magnolia Blossom, which is just the magnolia and one leaf. Now the difference between a PNG and my skeleton is that the skeleton has absolutely no fill, just lines. So everything shows through it, see? So I'm going to put that here, make it a bit bigger, holding down my Shift key, and I don't want it in front of my colorful Magnolia. I want it in the back. So I'm going to right click on that, go down here to arrange, and I'm going to send it backwards. I'm not going to send it to the back. Watch what happens if I send it to the back. It goes behind everything. So let's undo that and right click on it, and we'll go Arrange, Send Backward. And it just goes behind this one image. Okay, so I'm going to make that bigger. I think I want it really big. Let's grab this one and make it really big. How big? About there. And then I'm going to add one more skeleton. So we'll go up here to Insert a Picture again from File, because it's in a file. And I'm going to use my leaf skeleton. And I think I'm going to flip this. So I choose that big skeleton that we put there first. I go to Flip, and I'm going to flip it horizontally. And I'm going to move it over here. Oh, yeah, that looks cool. And then this leaf, I'm going to put right here and make it big. This one, move it. So you just kind of play around with things. And that one I'm going to leave in the front. I'm going to leave this one in the front, maybe move it up a little bit. So that will just make a little bit more interest on this leaf. Okay, this one's in front. Okay, so now I am going to add sentiment. So we'll go there to the same set. You could go to any set. I'm just using all the new things from my Magnolia. That's a mouthful. So let's shrink this down so it fits, and I'm going to move it to the top. But you'll notice it's a lot going on there, and it's hard to read that because of the color and all the black lines. So I'm going to grab this skeleton image, and I'm going to go up here to transparency again, and I'm going to make it more transparent. See how it gets lighter? Okay, we're talking about this image right here. My big image, the big flower. And it's getting lighter. And that's fine. Maybe a little lighter. Let's make it 50. Okay, so now it looks a little better, but even this background, I'm going to click on the purple background, the jelly plate print, and I'm going to make that lighter as well. And you'll see how now I'm able to read my sentiment better. Okay, now I can read it. Yeah, I can read it. So that's pretty much it. Now one more thing I want to show you is that I'm going to add yet another background underneath this one. So we're going to go to Insert Picture from File, and we're going to go to a different file. Okay, I have to go back to my papers. And we're going to go to Retro, and I'm going to choose this one down here I call Finish Line. Now this is also a large 8.5 by 11. Oh, actually the right size. That's great. So we can make this larger or smaller, and all we're going to do now is we're going to go to Arrange. I remember I right clicked here, right click, and this drop box comes down, and we're going to go to Arrange, Send to Back, because we want it all the way in the back. Wait a minute, I think I know what I did wrong. Okay. Cannot have the background clicked. I had this clicked, and what it did was it replaced the purple background, the jelly plate, with the finish line paper. So you have to unclick. So there's nothing is chosen. What's that word? Nothing is selected. That's what it is. Okay, so we're going to add that other background. So we're going to go up here to Insert Picture from File, and we'll try that one more time. And that's why it appeared at the very size, because I had selected the background, and instead of getting this, it replaced my purple background. So make sure when you go to put any kind of a picture or anything there that you deselect, select none, and then you can add your new paper. So I'm going to select this though, because I want to crop it this time. So I'm going to crop, pick up here, crop, and then these little blue handles appear, and we're going to crop it and click on it. It will crop. Click off. I'm going to select it again. I'm going to go up here to Modify, Rotate. Rotate it around with the red dots. Move it into place. I think I need to make it a little smaller, a little bigger. Okay, so now it's the same size, but it's in the front. I want it in the back. So right click on there, go down to Arrange, Send to Back. And there it is, behind the purple background. You see that? Very cool. So now it's still selected, so I can make it smaller. Now, I need to make it lighter, so I will select it again, and I will modify it. I'm going to make it transparent to some extent till it looks the way I want it to look. I don't really want to see a lot of it. I'd rather see more purple. So that background's going to get really, really light. I think maybe 75%, like that. Great. Deselect it and maybe select this purple and make that bigger. What you'll notice is when you select, it gets darker, so you know which layer. And if a layer is in your way and you can't seem, like if I can't seem to get to that back layer again, see, I just can't seem to get there, you can move something and then you can put it back. It's that easy. Okay, so here's our card, and now all I have to do is crop it. So if I want to crop it, I'm going to have to go through every one of these images. And that's fine, and I can crop and then I can go to my magnolia and I can crop it. Or you can just print it out and trim it off. Just that this way you're not wasting any ink. So this way I'm just going to choose each image and crop it to the size of my background. And there is my card. So when I print this out, you're going to be able to read. You know, you can, but the new thing that I'm including now are these skeletons. And they are great for making backgrounds. And you can make them larger and smaller. And now I'm going to show you another one. We're going to use another one of my new sets down here. And you can also make this card with stamps that you want to color. So we're going to go to my stamps and we will choose another new set. And this one is called Perfect Pansy. We're going to start with the Perfect Pansy PNG because we want the image that we're going to color. So we'll put this image down here. I'm just going to make it a little smaller. Hold my Shift key, make it a little smaller. Okay, good. Now we can put a background here. And I'm going to choose the background from the same set. And I'm going to use Little Pansy Skeleton. Now the skeleton, remember, has no fill. So I'm going to put it here and I'm going to copy it with, let's go up here, I'll show you how you do it here. Edit, copy, edit, paste, and now there should be 2, and there's the other one. Then I'm just going to go edit, paste, and I'll get a 3rd one. Edit, paste, and I'll have a 4th one. And they always appear in the same spot where the original one was. Now doing that, we can see that this image has moved to the back. But what I'm going to do right now is just move it over here and spread these out a little bit so they're not too confusing. I'm going to just have them butt up against each other pretty much. Maybe a little closer. Like that. Remember, you have to click right on the black lines to get these. If you click on the white where there's no color, because this is the skeleton, even the side, you can't, you have to click on the lines to actually select them. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just make down here, I'm going to just reduce the size of my sheet so I can grab all of those 4 images, and I'm going to make them more transparent. And I mean really, I think I go to maybe 85. Let's try 80. Now see how light they are? Now we'll take this image and we will put it over here. And we will say arrange, bring to front. And here I'll make the card bigger again so you can see that this is filled in with white. That's a PNG. The skeletons in the back have no color, have no fill. They're skeletons. So there you go. So what you can do now is you can make a rectangle over wait a minute. Let me see. Okay, so we chose that rectangle, and our fill area we want transparent. Okay, so now we'll take that rectangle and bring it over here. Oh, look at that. Make the card front. Okay, and now no color. I hit none up here. So now you can see that, and that's now when you have your card, you can crop each one of these to the size of your card. And this way you're just saving yourself some, no, need green squares. Green squares, come on. And crop up here, makes those little blue frames, crop. And that removes the flower there. Then we'll choose this one, crop, and bring it down to the edges of that rectangle. Crop this one. Now there might be an easier way. Maybe if you do this in a different order, it's easier. But this is my process. This is how I do it. I can see this one still needs to be made a little smaller. Okay, So there is our card. So you have this really lovely background. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger for you to see. You have this lovely light background that you can color or not. This one's still got to be a little bit smaller. Okay, so you can, I'm such a perfectionist, I'm seeing the line still sitting outside though. Don't like that. Okay. Notice when you go to crop again, the whole picture comes back to help you. So here's your background. You can leave it plain, or you can color it. Let's just see what it looks like if I replace this with a color image of the flower. It just gives you a really cool marbly looking background. And when you don't have to color it, you could. But yeah, so you can use your colored image or your non-colored image. Very cool. So let's go back to the black and white one. There it is. And we'll put it right back in the card. I'm just hitting undo. So there we are. So you can layer them. You can use those skeleton images in the back and have fun.